everyone, and welcome to episode 134 of my Guild Wars 2 Let's Play series, where this is a very exciting episode. It should be a little bit of a longer one because we are going to finally begin Heart of Thorns, the first expansion for Guild Wars 2, and I am super excited for this because we have finished the personal story and all the maps connected to that, and the original post-release updates and the maps that came with them in the Living World Season 1 and Season 2, and now we are in the first expansion of Guild Wars 2, where this is just an absolutely massive expansion with so much stuff going on. And in the real world, back in the day in 2015, before this expansion released, there was also some bonus events where Mordremoth's minions were attacking some zones around the world, and you could get like some currency to like turn in for random things that aren't too important. But that is something that happened, and that brings us to this point here where we can report to Red Rock Bastion, where we can go ahead and enter the Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns story chapter rally to Maguma, where we have the Silver Wastes concept art that we're very familiar with, but we are about to experience so much more new concept art and whatnot.
Commander, Mordremoth proved even more powerful than we imagined. The jungle itself set against us and shredded our ships. And then, there was the call. All of us Silvari heard it, and many followed Mordremoth's commands, turning on their pact allies. Many are dead, still others are missing, and our fleet is utterly broken. If rescue doesn't come soon, there won't be anything left to rescue. Please. We need your help.
We need to rescue the Pact fleet, who have basically been annihilated by Mordremoth. And really quickly, I want to mention with Heart of Thorns, we are going to experience new storytelling, and it might take me a little bit to get used to this because I've done 133 episodes of Guild Wars 2, and we are now finally getting to the modern way that we see dialogue in Guild Wars 2, because in the personal story, we saw that there was the side-by-side cutscenes where the character talks, and then in seasons 1 and 2, we experienced the player character not talking at all, and also no more cutscenes where there's a lot of dialogue to read alongside just characters talking out in the world. Now there's a ton of dialogue with the pack commander here on out, chatting with other people just out in the world, which we might experience here.
Commander on the field, 10 Hut. Good to see you, Commander. Some of your associates are already in the field. They were eager to help.
At ease, Tactician. Larenthea called for my assistance. What can you tell me about the situation in Maguma?
We've seen a few survivors coming out of the jungle, and the news isn't good. Mordremoth destroyed the fleet as soon as it arrived. It was a massacre. Those that survived are in disarray. We're keeping the way out of Maguma open, mostly. But Amber Sandfall is getting hit pretty hard. If we lose that...
We won't. We need that way out for survivors, and a way in for reinforcements if we're going to turn this around. We also need Traherne and Destiny's Edge. They were with the fleet, and I need to know what happened to them.
So we can go ahead and escort reinforcements.
Good luck, Commander.
We've got dispatches coming in.
And we can also clear Amber Sandfall of Mordrim to establish a pact rally point. So let's go ahead and head out this direction, Amber Sandfall being in the southwestern corner of the map. And there is an area near here that I referenced a little bit, where there's War Master Gritblade here, and we can check in with Rox and Bram, who are just hanging out, and just a ton of Mordrim wolves and some Mordrim grunts and whatnot around here that we can quickly deal with. It looks like some of the Mordrim are kind of like hanging out near Indigo as well. And then with these two, we can check in with them.
Glad you're here. They say Mordremoth wiped out the entire fleet. The news has Frostbite a little anxious. I mean, because Destiny's Edge was on board. I hope they're okay.
I'm with Frostbite. The boss, Destiny's Edge, and airships killed Zaitan. How did it go so wrong this time?
We're about to see for ourselves. I need you two at the staging area near Amber Sandfall and ready to go when I arrive.
We'll be there. Just gotta mop up the last of these Mordrum.
Sounds good. See you soon.
Then we can continue this way. It's nice to check in with our friends, and of course we are setting up the stage for what we are about to experience, because we can go ahead and head into the jungle with Rox and Bram, and we can also see Casimir and Marjorie should be up there as well. So we can go ahead and work together as a group, our little adventuring guild, not necessarily a guild but just a group of friends. And we can head into the jungle and help out an actual guild in the form of Destiny's Edge that has recently reunited in the last couple of years in the story.
Thank the gods you're here, boss. We were hoping for some sign of Kaith and Mieg, but we found this. We did verify that Kaith has been through here in the last day or so. Sorry we can't give you more.
We'll get the egg back, but right now our top priority is Mordremoth. What's the situation here?
Mordrum attacked after you left for Camp Resolve. We went to help Amber Sandfall. Bram and Rox went to Red Rock.
I never made it to Camp Resolve. Once I heard the fleet had been attacked, I knew I'd be needed here.
So it's even worse than it looks. You can count on us, boss. We're ready to go. Just say the word.
Consider it said. Finish up what you're doing and meet me on the edge of the jungle. We'll all go in together.
Good. First my sister, then the Zephyrite Masters, now the Pact Fleet. Mordremoth has to be stopped for good.
Amber Sandfall is under attack. Ton of Mordrum all around here. So let's go ahead and try to defend this packed fortification, because we're definitely going to need as many defenses as we can in the coming conflict, where we are approaching the edge of the jungle, where throughout all of Living Road Season 2, minus the parts where we return to Central Tyria, we have been hanging out in the Maguma Wastes, which we can take a look at the map here, with Dry Top and the Silver Wastes, and it is very much a desert. But now we can head deeper back into the Maguma jungle, into the heart of Maguma, which in many ways is going to be similar to the Tarnished Coast. In this part of the Maguma jungle we have explored with Caledon Forest and Manticore Province and Brisbane Wildlands, but we're going to be in very, very dense jungle with so many other elements that we can explore as well. Where should we just take the signal torch? Where is the brazier here? Trying to remember. I think it might be on top of one of these areas. You can just look for it. I'm not sure how important this event is, because we could probably just like AFK and then complete it. But it also looks like they're really dealing a lot of damage here. Maybe we should help out. We can attack them through the gate. We can maybe even kill them. I just heard one die there. Let's come out here. It was just the husk that was dealing a ton of damage. Got Leeching Thrashers and a Mordrum Wolf over here. Can easily defeat these two. Okay, I think this is it, assuming this is what we can activate. Maybe just lit on a fire. And air support arrives in 9 seconds. Up around here, you can see the airship laying siege to the Mordrum, and then we just have to defend this for 3 more seconds. We have successfully completed this, and then we can enter the packed staging area. So through this little door here, we can go ahead and find Taimi and Canuck. A fellow Savari are hanging out here, where we knew Canuck was going to be joining us.
Radasum was all abuzz over the Pack Fleet disaster. I knew you'd get involved, so I came to pitch in. Scruffy and I gave these locals a lesson in Mordrum bashing while we waited for you. Oh, and Canuck helped too.
Yes, I helped. And I thought the Firstborn were full of themselves. Commander, Countess Anise sent me to support you and represent the Shining Blade in the fight against Mordremoth. The jungle won't contain Mordremoth for long. Mordrum incursions are already happening as far away as Diessa Plateau. I also have an obvious personal stake in defeating the Jungle Dragon. In any case, I am at your disposal.
Glad to have you both aboard. We're going to need all the help we can get. Let's move out.
Now we can go ahead and gather at the rally point leading into the Maguma jungle, where we've caught up with all our friends. Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns Prologue Rally to Maguma complete. We already got a bunch of new items, and we can go ahead and do Torn from the Sky, determine the fate of the Pact Fleet. Let's go ahead and enter the story mission, where we can see many Pact airships here have fallen and have been grabbed by the jungle, where we can go ahead and survey the wreckage.
Stay sharp, people. Modromoth hit the Pact hard. It's up to us to pick up the pieces.
Oh, gods. So much wreckage.
I was expecting carnage. But this... Modromoth actually took down the entire fleet.
Spirits. Could anyone have survived? We need to get down there, fast! I see a camp, and a camp means survivors. Let's go!
Bram! Get back here!
Part of the glory of Tyria there, but let's go ahead and join Bram, where we can head down to where we see Tyria of the Wild, one of the co-founders of the Vigil. And of course, Bram is definitely very interested in trying to find survivors, because one of the survivors is his own mother, who he has recently rekindled with. But of course, we need to try to find as many survivors of the Pact as airships keep falling and helicopters keep crashing. And there's another one that just crashed right next to us.
The Vulcan's son. I want to know where she is.
Bram, you mustn't run off like that. We're in enemy territory. Larenthir, glad to see you survived. I need a status report, now.
You're a welcome sight, Commander. The situation is grim. Mordramoth tore the fleet apart. The Pact is in ruins. Traherne and Destiny's Edge were taken prisoner. They were alive, but now MIA. And the remaining soldiers no longer trust me.
And you're surprised? Scarlet, Aaron, and now this? Mordramoth always uses Sylvari to do its dirtiest dirty work.
We need to strengthen the defenses around here. Our priority has to be salvaging weapon parts from the crash site.
What about our comrades in the cavern? The Pact does not abandon its own.
Look around, sir. There is no more Pact, and the prisoners you want to save are probably already dead.
Think it through, soldier. We need greater numbers, or any salvage party we send will disappear like the others.
This isn't helping. Just tell us where Destiny's Edge is, please.
Larenthir, stand by. I believe you're still on our side, but I need to think this through.
So we can ask for some different opinions, but between Larenthir and Explorer Matilla, I, as a fellow Sylvari, and also in my own strategic idea, I think we should try to rescue any other soldiers so that we can regroup and then work together. So let's go ahead and see if we've mustered any sort of rescue party, where Larenthir wasn't able to. But let's go ahead and get an operation rolling.
Everyone listen up. We've suffered a serious setback, but we're far from beaten. I trust Larenthir. If you trust me, you can trust him. We're all still on the same side. Understood?
Yes, Commander!
Larenthir will join the search and rescue team. If you're not on that team, dig in and fortify this position. Now fall in and let's get to work.
It's not worth risking more lives to save Sylvari prisoners. They're already gone. Sylvari belong to Mordremoth.
You're a fool. Only weak-willed Sylvari are vulnerable. The rest of us, myself and the commander especially, fight back.
He's right. Mordremoth wants us to turn on each other. Are you going to play right into the enemy's hands?
No, but who says you're not the enemy? Gunnard, Gat, come on. We're better off on our own.
Count me out of your tiny mutiny. My duty is to my fellow soldiers. I'm staying.
It's your funeral. This camp won't last another night. Good luck. You're gonna need it.
So let's go ahead and try to recover the captured soldiers. And there are a ton of Mordrum, and we should expect some opposition.
Thanks, Tiny, but go easy on the Asura wisdom for now.
And we should be careful of any other threats in the jungle as well.
Bloodstains, but no bodies. Not a good sign.
Not a good sign indeed. Where there are some Mordrum guard.
Keep them away from the cages.
So we can see some new enemies that look very similar to Sylvari that we can go ahead and defeat there.
We're up here! Commander, did you hear that? It came from above us, at the top of those stairs. The enemy keeps collecting corpses and prisoners. This is the first time we've had any sign of where they wind up.
Some jungle tendrils, and it looks like there are some Pale Reavers, the elite Sylvari that specialized in stealth operations, where they often used sniper rifles in the campaign against Zaitan. And they were especially special because the Sylvari did not turn into Risen, and now we know that's because they themselves are dragon minions, and dragon minions can't be turned into other dragon minions.
So nice of you to come to us.
And a couple of snipers here. And these lions deal a ton of damage. We need to be very careful about them.
I'm ready to kill the enemy, sir. All I need is my rifle and a clear line of sight.
And there's a Mordrum guard overseer here.
Mordremoth has plans for you all.
So let's go ahead and start attacking this overseer. And there's some more Mordrum guard that are approaching. Looks like the overseer just phased. So let's deal with them. And we can hear Mordremoth's voice there. And then back to the overseer. There's a ton of wolves. Too bad I didn't have my stun break there. They brought reinforcements. But just 2 more wolves left. We are definitely pretty powerful. And we are going to become a little bit more powerful now that we can finish our Reaper Elite specialization, which is very exciting. But it looks like we've rescued everybody. So we can go ahead and grab our flesh golem.
What went on here?
Mordremoth's forces overpowered us. They locked us up here with corpses from the crash site. They took the others south to join the Jungle Dragon's army. We would have been next. We didn't break. And now we're going to give Mordremoth's horde a taste of what it gave us.
I hope this proves what I've been saying. If we work together, this doesn't have to be a total disaster.
And now one of the most infamous enemies in all of Guild Wars 2, the Pocket Raptors. Very, very weak, but they just swarm you and deal quite a bit of damage, so you have to make sure you deal with them quickly and evade their big attacks, as all of our friends flock around us to help, as the Pocket Raptors flock us themselves. But there we go, and then we can go ahead and return to the Pact Survivors makeshift camp that we got going on right here. And fortunately, we're pretty close to the exit out of the jungle.
Everybody form up and do your jobs. It's a long time until daylight.
Let's rumble!
So now we can fend off the enemy's night attacks, where...
Don't worry, Brown. We'll find can free Destiny's Edge, just like we did those prisoners.
Thanks, Fox.
Where once we get into Verdant Brink, we're going to see a very exciting map. Verdant Brink being the first map in the jungle, where all of the maps really revolve around the day-night cycle to some extent, but Verdant Brink specifically is entirely focused around the day-night cycle, where during the day we can go ahead and rescue packed soldiers, and during the night we can fend off Mordremoth's attack. And there's like a lot more than just like those two things, but those are like the big ideas. Where let's go ahead and fend off Mordremoth's attack here while we try to wait for daytime in this specific story mission. And we can deal with the grunt. Got Tormentor over here, where there's many events in Heart of Thorns, and I will be looking at some of them, but we will not be doing every single one of them. Where there's some more Mordrim coming this way. Let's go ahead and get into this position. Some of them are going into the camp. Maybe we deal with the ones in the back line first. There's Thrasher, and I think all the ones in the camp actually got destroyed. Some more Mordrim coming in here. And I think this is probably just a timer that we have to work through, but maybe there's like a set amount of Mordrim we need to defeat.
You asked for it.
The Mordrim Guard definitely look very cool. And all the other varieties of Mordrim as well, but I feel like the Mordrim Guard in particular are just really cool enemies, as they look very similar to Savari, as I said, and have the same rigging as them too, so we should recognize some of their animations since we've been playing so much of a Savari ourselves. Sniper this way, easy to deal with. This feels easier than when I did this all the way back in 2015. Where I think I'm a little bit more geared on this character than I was on my first character coming through Heart of Thorns for the first time. Got two groups coming in. Let's come deal with this group first. There we go. And then over here, deal with this group. A third group just showed up. And a fourth one back there as well. Let's come deal with these. We need to defeat the Mordrim champion now. So we got a Mordrim Guard Cavalier, where we see a Mordrim riding a raptor, which it wasn't until the Path of Fire expansion that mounts were introduced into the game, but we got a little bit of a tease here in the Heart of Thorns expansion with some mounted enemies that we could fight, including one on a raptor, which became the first mount that players utilize. But let's go ahead and try our best to deal with the Cavalier. He's going to be moving around a bunch, and I don't think we'll be able to chase him down that well, but we can just wait for him.
Sharpen your blades and guard your vitals. I'm back.
Ritlock Brimstone is back. Where we saw in Living Road Season 2, he almost lost his blade to Hothan, and he jumped into a mist portal to chase after it. So he traversed somewhere through the mists, and he has returned with his sword and also some newfound magics. Let's go ahead and work together to defeat this dismounted Cavalier, where we defeated the Raptor. And we should be able to take down this Mordrim Guard very easily, as it is the last one alive, and we have the full force of all our friends here focused specifically on this enemy, as Scruffy makes some music there as we fight. And then we can go ahead and check in with Ritlock Brimstone, because he has just appeared through another portal.
Hope you don't mind me joining in, Commander. It looked like you could use some help.
Tribune? You're alive! But where have you been? And what's that new magic you're using?
Later, Cub. All you need to know is that I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Right now, we've got comrades to rescue and dragon minions to kill.
Ritlock's right. We need to find Destiny's Edge and hit Mordramoth where it lives. Let's go, Tribune. Time for us to kill another Elder Dragon.
Commander, there are more Pale Reavers out there. I'd like to gather them together and take command. As a Sylvari-only unit, we can monitor and protect ourselves from threats both internal and external. If any of us show signs of faltering, the others will do what needs to be done.
Consider your request authorized. Good luck, Larenthir. May the Pale Mother guide and protect us all. Listen up. We're breaking camp. Get the wounded to the Silver Wastes. Larenthir will remain here to secure the area.
Thank you, Commander. I'm headed to the high ground. That's where the Pale Reavers were trained to go. And do talk to some of the Pale Reavers we rescued. They may have overheard valuable intel while they were imprisoned.
And now we have completed Torn from the Sky.
Tribune, I saw you dive into the mists. Where did you end up? How did you learn new magic?
Look, history is full of legendary figures. Heroes and villains, idols and monsters. While I was in the mists, I figured out how to harness their power and make it work for me, okay?
Okay, but I have a lot more questions.
Save them. We've got a mission, soldier. Let's get to work.
And we will learn a lot more about Ritlock's shenanigans as we progress through the story.
It's different too. How is he doing what he's doing?
Doesn't matter. It's working. I'm glad he's here.
Me too. It's a good omen. We took heavy losses, but we're still in this fight.
But I will say, Ritlock Brimstone is now known as a Revenant, which the Revenant is the 9th and most likely final and first profession added to Guild Wars 2, and we will be exploring the Revenant ourselves in just a few episodes. But that is for a few episodes from now, where we've completed Torn from the Sky, where we can go ahead and gain experience in our Heart of Thorns masteries. And we can now see that we have some story marker requirements here, where we need to learn some masteries in order to progress through the story, which this wasn't here when we first played Heart of Thorns way back in the day. So it's really cool to see this here, where we can go ahead and get that experience. And we've trained our first mastery of glider basics, where we can glide across the world with our very own glider. And we're halfway there, where let's go ahead and leave the instance, where for our next story step, I believe we're going to have to learn how to glide. Earn your glider basics mastery to continue your story. And we are now here in the open world of Verdant Brink.
That's quality armor.
Thank you so much.
Classic voice line. Where let's go ahead and just begin exploring this map a little bit, where we can fight various enemies, complete different events, find some interesting and unique challenges, and just explore a very, very cool landscape. Where we started with the story mission here, and then we see the Pale Reaver rally is located here, where we can go ahead and participate in some events in this direction if we want. And we can check in our achievements. Pale Reaver Believer, where we can complete a bunch of events into this outpost, which again, I'm not particularly interested in completing all of the events, especially since they are all timer based. But let's go ahead and check our map here, where we have our first proper adventure in Guild Wars 2, where we've done a little bit of adventures with like the Shadow of the Mad King Festival, but this one and one to the north are the first adventures that most players would experience in their Guild Wars 2 journey. And I love adventures so much because not only are they going to provide us a bunch of experience, we have the Lethal Vantage airship here, but we can also just participate in a really fun activity, and where we will be able to do a better job in this adventure as we get some more masteries. But we can go ahead and just have a stab at it here, where we need to burn a bunch of jungle tendrils, and we need to avoid the unexploded shots, where I'm probably not going to get gold on this, especially since it's been a while since I have done this. And there's actually, in fact, one Heart of Thorns adventure I still have not gotten gold on yet, which I will need to do one day. Let's go ahead, try to kill these tendrils, blast this one there we go, and then dodge that. Bunch of tendrils up there. There's some up here too. I feel like I never really noticed how many of them are on the ceiling here. But we can just slowly approach the unexploded shot, and then it will go off before it deals damage to us, just like that. Looking up, I don't see any up there. This bouncing mushroom is a mastery that we will have to unlock, and going up this bouncing mushroom is actually critical for what we need to do here. So we're definitely not going to be able to successfully get maybe even silver on this run. But oh, unexploded shot. That could have sent me down into the ravine, which we can see goes super far down into the earth, where the Heart of Thorns maps and Verdant Brink are incredibly vertical maps, which is why something like a glider is incredibly beneficial for us. Okay, dealt with them. Can we try to deal with these tendrils too? Any more up here? No, it looks like we got to 71 out of 75. I don't think we have any way to get to any more tendrils until we get that bouncing mushroom mastery. Or actually looks like maybe there's one back here. I don't think we're going to find 4 in time, because I don't see any others. I guess there was 2 there. But, oh, I apparently killed 2 more at the last second, and we got silver there, so we can go ahead and get a lot more experience there, and we can also get a mastery point for reaching silver in the tendril tortures. And then we do have this vista over here, but I think we're going to have to wait. We could use a raptor, but I don't want to use a raptor to skip some of the stuff that we get through other methods. And I'm just using the raptor for movement speed boost, really. So let's go ahead and participate in the event over here just a little bit, and we can help out with all of the activities that are going on. We have a large airship cargo that we can go ahead and open with our singular packed crowbar we got from the prologue mission, and we got some airship parts, which are map currency from this map specifically, that we can spend on a wide variety of different things. Got a Mordrum Guard sniper right there, and then we have Laerthy of the Wild and Chief Aviator Skybreaker, and a Mordrum Breacher, where we need to defend the Pale Reavers as they attack the Mordrum Vine Tenders to bring down the shield, which the shield looks like gets brought down. You can see an incredibly large Hylic over there by the name of Tizlak, which I think is maybe a tiny bit of a spoiler. Alright, let's go ahead and deal with this Mordrum group here. And then we focus our attention on the Mordrum Breacher. There we go. Some more airship cargo, but we do not have any packed crowbars. We can go ahead and use the map currency to buy packed crowbars, and then we can run around and open the chests. Or we can also get packed crowbars from completing events, which we will get a ton from events, and then also a few other methods as well. This mushroom bomber, we can see mushroom enemies here, which is very cool. But we got another Mordrum Breacher over there that we can go ahead and deal with, where I think maybe I'll help out with this event really quickly, and then I want to explore these ruins to the south, the Shrouded Ruins, which is where this event chain is taking us to. So we can explore this entire area through the event chain, or also just ourselves. Let's deal with this wolf and this Punisher. Where? Oh, we don't have the mastery for Speed Boost Mushroom. I'm so not used to not having the masteries. Let's go ahead and deal with this Mordrum Breacher. I'm like, why am I not getting the speed boost where we need to even access that mastery? So we have to complete the tutorial gliding glider basics. in order to access This one, where we then need to journey to Orc Basin, the second map, in order to access Exalted Lore, and then so on and so forth, where there's so many masteries for us. And again, we have completed everything in Central Tyria, and we're mastery level 49. And as we get our glider, we will be mastery level 50, which I feel like is a really nice number, where once you complete the first thing in Heart of Thorns, you're just level 50. See if we can give our friends some swiftness here. Doesn't look like it. But there's so many other events. There's just like dozens upon dozens of events in every single map in Heart of Thorns. There's truly a ton of content that you can do if you just continuously play through each map, where I'm just going to go in an incoherent order, and I'm also going to do a bunch of live streams as I progress through here as well, where we have successfully completed this event, and maybe we should help out with this next event as well so we can get through here. But there are other ways to get in here as well, where we can go ahead and keep enemies away from Skybreaker while she plants explosives, where we can get some of these rifles, and we can go ahead and start attacking some of the jungle tendril roots and some of the Mordrim that are coming up this way. And there are going to be Mordrim wolves that are probably going to be charging their way up here that we'll have to deal with on foot, like this group here. So let's go ahead and deal with them really quickly. Some Mordrim menders as well, healing everybody up. There's one all the way back here too. Easily defeat them. And then let's go ahead and position ourselves this way, where let's come to the stairs here, and then maybe down to the base of the stairs. We could attack like these jungle tendril roots here, but then if any enemy tries to get up here, we could just block their path. But there might be Mordrim that spawn like up above and drop down as well. But I really love this event because we just have all these Pale Reavers that are shooting at enemies here, and they're just like holding a position onto the wall and just defending the wall with the sniper rifles, which I feel like is just a really cool vibe. Oh, I didn't do my job. But they're charging past me anyway, so I'm not sure how much I could have done there. Alright, the Mordrim was just deadly when flanking, but also probably deadly in front of us as well. Oh, another group of Mordrim wolves. Slow them down. Do some of our big attacks here. And there we go. Oh, one more Mordrim wolf here. There we go. Now we can clear the area. Oh, there's more husks coming up. I think people got distracted by the Mordrim wolves. So let's clear these husks. And then let's get back into a position where we can pick up a rifle, and let's try to clear some of these husks here if I can. Ooh, I hit the wall there. Okay, let's try here. There we go. Let's deal with this husk. A mushroom spike thrower. Tundral root over there. Looks like there's another necromancer just trying to hold the line there. I missed. Oh, so there's some of the wolves coming this way. Can we try to lead here? I dealt quite a bit of damage, but not enough. There, let's go ahead, hold here, and now... Oh, that was a little too early. Okay, let's get back up here. Cannot drop those in the middle of the air. There we go. Deal with these wolves while we can. And of course, one of the best things about Guilders 2 is that there's just like always players around because of how the server system works, and because of how every piece of content added to the game is pretty much relevant, be it for players playing through it for the first time, like what we are doing right here on this account, or for players just returning to work on different collections or achievements, or just to make some gold, or just to have some fun. So it's nice to see that we just hopped into a random map of Verdant Brink. Not much going on here. Maybe more if I like looked at map chat, but we're just doing this event where we have 3 people up here and another person down there, just hanging out and just casually playing through an event together.
Clear sky.
just obliterate the Mordrim husks. This is a really fun event. Oh, more Mordrim wolves. Let's try to deal some damage. I hit some of them. But we might complete this event before the Mordrim wolves even get up here. Never mind, the Mordrim are attacking up here. So we have to clear one more group, and then I think we will have completed this event. And I should check my inventory. Okay, I'm doing good on inventory space. Maybe I should consume these so we can get some extra buffs as we fight, and even some more experience, where I could also use any experience boosters I have. I think they might be in my bank. Oh, I'm almost dead. Let's heal up. Let's go into Shroud. AoE all of these enemies down. So we only need 508,000 experience to get our first glider mastery. But just like in Tyria, as we level up all of our masteries, we're going to need more and more experience and also more and more mastery points, because we're only at 2 mastery points right now. One from the adventure and one from the story. So we'll have to be on the lookout for more mastery points as we play. I think just like one more second and we will have successfully defended this area. Let's kill this husk real quick. These charges must be very complicated in order to set.
Justice served.
Justice served. You can see all the charges set there, and we can clear the way, and then we can get this waypoint, which is going to be very nice. Got a shiny bauble. And now we can have this waypoint here, where let's go ahead and skip ahead a little bit, where there is a vista in this direction that we can go ahead and look for, where we're going to have Larenthir and Skybreaker splitting up into 2 groups, and we can go with one of them if we want. But let's sneak through here, ignore the jungle spider. I guess we have to kill a jungle spider. Also Mordrim Guard Stalker that I just like almost one-shot there. So powerful. But across this bridge we can explore a really cool area. I love this location so much. With a giant pit as well, where let's go back down this way, where the event's going on and we can help out with it. But really quickly, I just want to go over to the side and go across this bridge. I love just the random crow here. You can look down into the massive pit, but up here is a hero challenge that we can go ahead and grab. And of course, in expansion maps, hero challenges give 10 hero points. So we will be able to get the next step of our Reaper, which I guess we already could have done with Deathly Chill, but then also Reaper's Onslaught. And now we just have Rise, a utility skill, and Chill to the Bone as an elite skill left. Which if I check in here, gain life force when you apply a boon to yourself or remove a boon from an enemy. Chill deals damage over time. Or gain Frosty and Quickness while Reaper Shroud. Hitting with Life Reap reduces the recharge time of Shroud skills. I like that a lot. Let's go with that. And now we can use our newfound powers against any enemies, but we can also go ahead and get our first mastery point, where we can find and speak with the Pale Reaver Scout, and we can also begin training Itzolor, which maybe I want the bouncing mushrooms, so we could maybe try again with that one adventure. But updrafts and bouncing mushrooms are both incredibly useful. And I'll just go for the bouncing mushrooms first because we'll train it a little bit faster, but we can glide just like this, which is so fun. Let's go down here. Try to help out, but maybe we can't really help out here. There's so many Mordrim, and I think a bunch of people left, but let's go back to Shipwreck Peak, and let's return to this area very quickly because I want to grab a couple more things that are around here where there's a point of interest, and also this adventure, which I think is one of the easier adventures, but we still might need the speed boost mushrooms. And I can also grab this Wizard's daily objective, and we have a different passage into this area here that we can go ahead and explore through. where let's just go around here to the salvage pit, where we can go ahead and collect 30 supplies, and we need to avoid the jungle tendrils, and the speed boost mushrooms are going to be super beneficial for us. But basically what we want to do here is just avoid all the jungle tendril attacks, where if you just continue in a straight line we should be pretty okay with that, and it would be even easier with a speed boost. But I can dodge when I'm in a situation where I feel like we need to dodge. I probably want to go ahead of any of the salvage here, and I'll have to loop back around for some that I missed. And I might also just die to the poison on how lag spike there, which is not going to help us. So many attacks. Keep our eyes open. Of course, we have less time to react when we're closer to the center just because they're going to be attacking us. But there we go. Very easy to complete. Probably one of the, maybe the easiest adventure in all of Heart of Thorns, the Salvage Pit, where we get so many rewards. And it's a good thing I was training my Bouncing Mushroom Mastery, because I can go ahead and progress through that. And I think that is everything right here. Or there are more events where we can just help out the Pale Reavers and we can kill some Mordrum. But let's go grab this Vista that we ran past. And Heart of Thorns is a lot like a Metroidvania, I believe, type of game, where you progress through Heart of Thorns and you see a lot of stuff that you can't get until you unlock some new powers and basically masteries in the future of the expansion, and then you can go back to the earlier areas in order to access some of the stuff that you weren't able to access. Where we could maybe just use our raptor to get over here, but we can also glide like this and then up here to this vista. And now we've explored this entire area, and I think we can go check out some new areas. But first, let's go check with the Pale Reaver Scout in this direction.
Commander, over here.
Where we also have this scout that we can chat with.
Flew in here as conquerors, but Mordremoth reached up and tore us out of the sky. We're working with the native Itzel to secure a foothold before nightfall. They tell us things get even more dangerous here at night.
I'm glad you're here, Commander. Please believe the pack still need your help, especially with all the distrust being aimed at Silval.
I'll do what I can, but I've got to find Destiny's Edge and Traherne. Mordrum took them all prisoner. They could be anywhere. I need to know where they were taken, or at least find someone who knows the lay of the land.
I've seen Mordrum, force marching high-value prisoners west, deeper into the jungle. It's not much, but it's a start. As for knowledge of the terrain, if you head north, you'll also run into a village of local Hylic called Itzel. They're fast and agile, and they know how to get around. With their help, your search will go a lot faster. But the first thing I do is check in at the large pact camp in the west. The people there should know more. Oh, and keep that glider handy. Navigating the jungle is dangerous. One wrong step around here can be fatal.
So we got a main pact camp to the west, and then we can go up to Jaka Itzel over here. And there's just so many different areas all around Verdant Brink, where we can really spend a ton of time exploring everything. But maybe let's explore a little bit more of our immediate area right here, where there is a mastery point in this direction. I'm trying to remember specifically, because once you get a mastery point, you never have to get it again. So this is my second time getting this mastery point. My first time being 10 years ago when Heart of Thorns originally released. And I completely forgot that we do run out of glider. That's so awkward. Okay, I saved myself there. Let's go back to Shipwreck Peak, where we do need to be careful of our energy bar on our glider. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's drop down here onto this cool bridge. Can't get the speed boost mushroom. You can see that Jaka Itzel's outpost progress has been completed most of the way. And now let's glide over to this mastery point that we can get right here. Ever so carefully up here. Commune with this. And then there is a point of interest below us. But I don't want to drop too far because I think there's another important thing for us. Oh, we successfully completed the Larentir event. Maybe we should go back there. I thought everyone left. The Tangle. I think on this island over here we can find something that's very similar to a mastery point where we can find strong boxes that we can open once a day, but the first time that we open each one we will get an achievement and a mastery point, which is really cool. So there's another mastery point for us. And then as you drop down here is another mastery in sight, so we can just pick up 3 in a row here. And then below us is a hero point that we can go ahead and go for. So let's grab that. And then down here to this Night Thistle Blossom. We can inspect this. And then we just have a Mordrim enemy to defeat. Where we need to be really careful with the hero challenges in Heart of Thorns because most of them are going to spawn champions and we're going to want to have friends with us. But some of them, aka the 2 that I've done thus far, can be completed by yourself. So let's go ahead and attack this Thrasher like this. And then we're really going to have to get out of here because he's going to heal up so much. But then we can go back in as I grab that mastery point. See if we can pull him out this way. There we go. Out of there. And we got that hero challenge completed. And then let's go back to this waypoint because I got everything there in that area where we dived really far down into the map. And if you look up, there's a lot of stuff above us that we can explore as well. Yes, we can explore everything up there. And then we have basically the ground level that we're on right now. But let's hurry back this way really quickly. And I now have 6 mastery points, so I should be able to get balancing mushrooms and updraft use and whichever mastery I want next after that pretty easily.
Aha, we got it reeling. Prep for the next salvo. Defend the mortar shells. We can't lose the artillery.
Where we have the final boss of the Pale Reaver Rally. And if I check this again, Pale Reaver Believer, we can see we completed the middle 3 events here where I didn't really participate in this, or I kind of just abandoned it. But we missed the first 2 events, which we really have to be here right when daytime begins in order to do those 2 events. Otherwise, we're going to be out of luck. What's the best way up? I might just miss this event, but we might have to go up this way. We could use a bouncy mushroom if we had it unlocked, but we're going to have to use our investigative skills. I think we want to head up this staircase and just keep going up as far as we can. Where there is the hero challenge that I got that is pretty far up. But then from here, maybe... Oh, this leads us to one of the areas where we need to defend 2 different areas, one of which is right here to let the other area attack the Colossal Vine. So let's come here, attack this Mordrim Troll. Alright, we're getting attacked a lot here. Ultra Venom, where I just got downed. So we have 1 person or 2 people here. Maybe we should try to go to the other side. So let's go this way. Because, oh jeez. Okay. When that group successfully defends, the other group can begin attacking with the mortars and can deal damage to the Colossal Vine. So if nobody's over here, there's going to be... Can we go this way? Oh no. There's going to be no damage being... I just fell. No damage being inflicted. Let's try... Oh, did I fall too far? Can I just use my raptor there? I think I need to go back up. Let's carefully glide down this way and not just fall. And then let's get up here with some swiftness. And now we're here, and there's one other person here. But we need to get this mortar supply. So let's interact with this. Come over to... Oh no. Not enough. There we go. Okay. Get to here. And now attack it with the mortar. There we go. First damage dealt. We can try to deal as much damage as we can. Where when the shield's up, we won't be able to deal any damage, but I think the shield is currently down. Let's try to get our flesh golem up. But I'm really excited to get my elite skill with the Reaper. Looks like we get... Oh, the shield is up, so I don't... Oh, it's down. Oh, wait, it's up? I'm so confused. Okay, I think it's currently up. So they need to reclaim the area to continue sniping in order for the snipers to kill the vine tenders. And it looks like shield's back down. So let's come back to the mortar supply here. Launch that way. And maybe just a few more mortar blasts between me and our ally here should be able to deal enough damage. It's a good thing I came over here to help out. There we go. Event succeeded. Defeat to the Colossal Vine. And now we have a veteran arrowhead here, where now that we've completed this outpost, where we actually have what's called outposts here, where we can see it light up around us, where we can complete different events around here, and then eventually complete the outpost, where the events are what we've been looking at here. We've completed these 4 events, and as we clear the outpost, I think we get like extra chests around here that we can open, and then some bonus events where we just defeated that massive saurian there. Also got packed crowbars and lost arms of a verdant hero, where we can just get a bunch of items, including this reclaimed greatsword, which I've already gotten through unidentified gear, which looks very cool. But we've successfully completed this event chain, except for the first 2 events that we can only do at the start of the map, which the map resets at the start of day, or if there's like an update to the game or whatever. Where we have a really cool vantage point here, where we can just see so much stuff. Unfortunately, my draw distance right now is like not that good. I just want to spend more time exploring through Heart of Thorns, so maybe let's just spend a little bit more time doing just that, where we're only at 18% map completion in Verdant Brink, over an hour into recording, where we've also completed some story. But we have establishing a foothold, which I think we'll save for next episode. But let's explore just a little bit more of this map, because there's so much to look at. And this area over here is incredible, and where we have more lag spikes, but Jaka Itzo, where we have the Itzo, which are special highlight that we can go ahead and explore a little bit more about. But we got bugs in the branches, where I don't think I'm going to be very successful with this adventure, because we really need bouncing mushrooms and updrafts. But I can do my best. We can maybe get bronze or something. And it's just the best I can do. This is definitely going to be something we have to return to, but this is a really fun adventure that I love a lot, where we can go ahead and... Oh, can I get one more at least? Maybe I dropped down too far. Or can I get up here? And then I think... Oh, there's one over here that I should maybe go for. This is definitely not an optimal route, but we can't do an optimal route since we don't have updrafts or bouncing mushrooms. Right, let's get to here. And then up to here. And that might be all I can get. Maybe I can get over there. There's the one in the air that I kind of saw right there. I need to get to 20 to get silver, and I don't think that's possible. Let's try getting... Oh, wait. Do I have bouncy mushrooms? Oh, no, I don't. I like started doing the animation there. That's weird. See if I can run this way just a tiny bit. There's only 20 seconds left. But we can try to get this bug carefully. And then I don't think we can get those bugs over there. Let's land here. Got a net. And I think that's the best we can do right now. 17 out of 30. So we got bronze, which is not bad at all. But let's go ahead and reset. And I'll have to return here in the future. And we can get some of the bonus rewards from all these adventures as we continue up this way, where there's a Mordrim here that we could kill if we want. But we also got the entrance to the first raid in Guildbridge 2, which is not really something we're going to be exploring too in depth, but it's really cool to see the entrance here. Whisper's Keeper, where we can go ahead and join in and fight against the enemies within. But if you continue to loop around this direction, we can go ahead and find Jaka Itzo, which is the home of the Itzo tribe of Hylik, who are definitely very interesting looking, where we have these Itzo Hylik, and then we can also see over here, and also we saw earlier, we will find the New Hawk Hylik. We got a New Hawk visitor there, where I don't remember the noises that they make like this, which is incredibly cool. But I just love this village a lot. It's kind of like a safe place once you complete the first couple of events located here, and then you go off and help the Itzo fight some Mordrim and whatnot. Where you can get this waypoint, and then up here. What's the best way? Just here, I guess, or then to here.
You're weak.
Just a super cool vista there for a super cool village. But there's a point of interest that way. There's a commander over here doing the final event in this event chain, I think. Let's drop down here and maybe we can help out. Jakatsu is just so cool, but we'll explore it a little bit more in the story as well. Where let's get up this way to the Wyvern Cliffs, where there's a veteran tiger there. And large airship cargo. That's going to give us a bunch of stuff if he decided to open it. But there is a wyvern here where it looks like they just started fighting this boss. And this is the final boss of the Jaka Itzo outpost. And I love the wyverns so much, where we're going to be fighting so many wyverns as we progress through Heart of Thorns. And they were featured in the cinematic trailer for Heart of Thorns. So, just a really iconic enemy from this expansion, which we'll explore a lot of as we progress through Guildbridge 2, where some people are kind of tired of wyverns, but they're just really cool if we're being completely honest. Where we can go ahead and help out here. There's a lot of fire on the ground we need to be careful of. And then we can defeat this boss. Slay the wyvern. Outpost complete. And we helped out the Itzo. Where there's another hero challenge over here that we might be able to get. And if I check Honorary Jaka Itzo, there's 9 events in this outpost where we just defeated the final wyvern there. But pile of wood. And we have the Wyvern Nesting Grounds, where this is kind of a challenging hero challenge to get, but still able to be soloed pretty easily. And we need to defeat the wyverns here first, and then we can commune with this. This one might attack us, maybe not. Okay, looks like we're good. We can get out of here, and we can also see that we have now trained bouncing mushrooms, so we can finally use the bouncing mushrooms, which is great. Where let's just come over here just to try it out really quickly. There we go. It's a set path. But then when we drop down here, we can see a huge example of this Metroidvania-esque gameplay we see with Heart of Thorns, where we can come into here, but we won't be able to stay for a very long time in the back part of this cavern, where we can see this mastery point, where it is covered with this poisonous vines here. And oh, I didn't realize it dealt that much damage, where it will just obliterate you. And we need to get a mastery in order to survive that. And that mastery is a long ways away. We've gotten the first couple of masteries here. But it's down here in New Hawk lore, and it's like pretty far down in the New Hawk lore track, I think. But I got bouncing mushrooms, which is good. I think next I want updraft use. And then between these two, blazing speed mushrooms would be very nice, but I think the gliding is going to be most useful, especially leyline gliding there. But let's go ahead and drop down here. And we can go back to this adventure, and I might still need the updraft to get gold, but we could maybe get silver on it, which would be good for us. So bugs in the branches, try this again, where let's run up here like we did last time maybe. Can get these bugs. Then we can use the bouncing mushroom to get all the way up here. We're just gonna land us here, and I don't see, wait, there's supposed to be like bugs here. Oh, there's one right here. So we can get this one, and then this one will take us way up here. Which maybe this is not an optimal path at all. I have to relearn how to do all of this. So let's come down here really quickly. I think we really do still need the updraft mastery. Let's come collect these bugs over here. They're all up in these branches, as the name of the adventure suggests. And is that all of them? I'm sure I missed one. It's like right above me or something. As we get to here. Oh yeah, one right there. Let's get to here. Ooh, I missed it. Let's get to here. And then I still cannot get up here, which is not good. Okay, we'll come back for you. Should maybe restart. And I think maybe I will actually restart. So we can just easily reset this like this. And then we can come down here maybe this time first. Grab this bug, this bug. Almost fell again there. And then up over here, we can grab this one very easily. And then, did I get the one that was up there? I guess I must have. I don't see it. But I might also just be missing it. Right, let's make these jumps here to get back up this direction. Oh, carefully make these jumps. Maybe I can just actually grab this bug next. And then I'm here. So let's go ahead and try to get some of these flying bugs. And then I came way too far down. Let's jump up to here. Back up to here. There's that bug I wanted. And then I think there's a few bugs up there. But I'm going to need to come to this bouncing mushroom first to get back up. And then let's go back up this route really quickly. Yeah, I just don't have much time. I'm being very inefficient with my bug catching here. There's 4 more. And then let's cancel that to get to here. And then we have 10 seconds left. And then I just need this bug really quickly. Oh, so close. But I got to 19 there, so almost silver, and I'll return sometime. I also got some bonus events here where we can help out the Itzel. And there's a point of interest over here where I think that we can find some like hostile Hylic over here. I need to find the entrance though, where we have this cool building here. And then around here, this looks like it might be it, where the Itzel have control of this location of the Temple of Amayali. However you pronounce that, that's probably not correct. But there are some hostile Itzel that do make their way into here. Alright, let's avoid all of this. I can get back up to Jaka Itzel for safety. And then I think one more thing I want to do before we take a break is to return to this adventure and see if we can do better now that we have the mastery. Let's go ahead, not waste any time here. Get around this way. Blow up these unexploded shots. Avoid that. Yeah, let's get into here. Let's try to get up here maybe. It's gonna be that unexploded shot, which is annoying. Let's try to deal some damage here. There goes all those. Oh, I thought I dodged. That's not good. Wasting a little bit of time here. So we have this bouncing mushroom. And can I throw this way? There we go. That should save a little bit of time. Get all these tendrils. Have to be careful of that unexploded shot there. Those. Okay, 71. We were at 75 when we finished, but that's because I like ran back a bit. Dodge through here. Should probably just use this in case I like clip one through a wall or something. But then we can get up here, but there are a ton. And I don't have much time left. So I need to be a little bit more efficient with my route there, but if I got 10 more, I would have gotten gold. But I got silver just like last time. But I got 25 more than last time, just with the bouncing mushroom, basically. So I just need to practice that a little bit more, and we will eventually complete that. And that's how many of the adventures in Heart of Thorns work, which is very fun. And Heart of Thorns as a whole as well, you really just have to practice some things to get better at it. And a lot of people definitely struggle with this expansion, because it is definitely much more harder than some of the other content that we see in Guild Wars 2, and we can experience more of that content as we progress through everything, where we can see it goes all the way over here pretty much, and we've only explored the eastern 34%, where I think we got everything that we've uncovered in these few areas right around here, and we will explore a little bit more of Jaka Itzel, but first we need to reach the Central Pact encampment, which we'll do next episode. So much to explore with Heart of Thorns, and I'm very excited to continue diving deep into this expansion, but I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I hope you all are taking great care of yourselves. Don't forget to drink some water and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all next time in the Road of Tyria. Goodbye.